Hello. Happy Saturn Day. Actual Saturn Day. It is the 28th of December. It's actually a Saturn hour as well. And the sun is in Capricorn and the moon is in Sagittarius. Holding hands with Mercury at 16 degrees. And I just wanted to mention a couple of things about the upcoming new moon in Capricorn, as well as Chiron going direct. Actually, Chiron going direct on the 29th, and then the new moon on the 30th. And there's some exciting energies, I would say. And it is the last new moon of 2024, and it's the beginning of a whole new chapter, era. I mean, this is really a time that we are meant to take rest and like kind of get ready for a big harvest. You know, like we're tilling the soil. We're letting the soil just kind of like do its thing in order for some manifestations to come through, and we do have to tend to those manifestations to be able to see the fruits of our labor. So a couple of things about, I guess we'll start in chronological order. Tomorrow is Sunday the 29th, and Chiron is going direct, and it's been retrograde since July in Aries, and that's all about claiming our sovereignty, really staking a claim in who we are and who we really are aligned with, not who we have been programmed to strive toward or become. And it's been at the 19 degree for a while now, and 19 is a Libra degree, and Libras are all about relationships and can be people pleasing. We do have the South Node currently in Libra, so we're learning to let go of those shadow sides of Libra, which is codependent relationships, whether it's with your family or your spouse, or even entities like the government, or even, you know, conveniences that we have relied on that we can certainly do without, and we can actually go back to, you know, good old-fashioned self-governance and self-sustainability. And Aries is all about self-reliance, doing things on your own, like not waiting for anybody and just getting it done. And the North Node is also in Aries, and it's about to finish up, actually. It's had about an 18-month cycle in Aries, and we've been learning to find ways to do things on our own, make our own products, you know, make our own clothes, just cook our own food, you know, not relying on GMO or pre-made meals. Maybe that could be one of the things that we have learned to come to find out, that not all of the pre-made meals are as nutritious or healthy for us as they may appear to be. They're definitely convenient, and that's another thing with Libra, is like the convenience of those things that have kind of had us become reliant on these things. So that can be a form of like codependent relationships. But Chiron going direct in Aries is really taking the initiative to heal old wounds. We've had this retrograde of Chiron for the past 6 months or so, which is an internal focus, and now that it's going direct, we will have more of a motivation to reach out to healers, therapists, maybe even astrologers, to get some insight and, you know, help come to solutions that are outside of the, you know, norm. So we're seeking insight that is less traditional, like looking to the stars or divination. And with the North Node moving into Pisces, this is another signature of that kind of movement. The North Node is the direction that we're moving toward, and Pisces is the energy of spirituality and divination, self-acceptance, you know, the unknown, and also connects to astrology and the cosmos. So we're definitely looking into conversations that aren't just echo chambers, because they tend to just kind of enable victimhood mentality. And with Jupiter still in Gemini, we want to welcome those differing opinions, those perspectives that we may not have thought of ourselves. Gemini is really good at, you know, seeing what's on the other side of the coin. And Jupiter is also the ruler of Pisces, which is where our North Node is moving into. So we have Chiron going direct, so we can have more initiative to heal old wounds, heal old relationships, forgive. And that doesn't necessarily mean like, taking people back, like mending the relationship to continue the relationship, just, healing the wounds so that you can move on and pursue the path that that you were meant to be on, your highest timeline. And that's individual. Each person has their own individual timeline that they were traveling on, and some people may not come with us on those paths, and it's okay. We're all meant to shine in our own unique individual way, and not to take offense if someone's path does not converge with ours or not in alignment with ours. We will draw the authentic beings that are meant to travel along with us. But yeah, so that's Chiron direct on the 29th, and then the new moon on December 30th happens at 2:25 in Capricorn at 9 degrees, which is a Sagittarius degree. And this particular moon is out of bounds. So out of bounds placements, they happen in either Sagittarius or Capricorn or Gemini and Cancer, and those are at I forget the exact description of the astronomy around it, but those polarities are the extreme bounds of declination that planets or the moon can travel in. And so an out of bounds energy is kind of like a dog off leash. There's no restriction or limitation to, in this case, the emotions that we can be feeling, because the moon is connected to our emotions. And so the feeling of sovereignty, which is a Sagittarius characteristic, sovereignty, truth-seeking, justice, is also connected to like international affairs, broadening your horizons, foreign affairs. We could be feeling the need or the impulse to start something new. And this moon at 9 degrees Capricorn is also in a wide square to the North and South Node, the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra. And so we could be feeling like we're kind of stuck at this crossroads of having to, like continue this relationship with whatever or whoever it might be, like a job or, a marriage or, anything that we can feel dependent on. Versus doing our own thing, like starting our own business, having that freedom to do what we want, exercise our own creativity, and just break away from these unfulfilling relationships. So this crossroads feeling with the new moon in a square to the North Node can be this new seed that we plant in order to achieve that vision of freedom. Because Sagittarius, the 9 degrees, is connected to Sagittarius, and it's that liberating feeling. Like Sagittarius is always up for an adventure, can be very impulsive, and wants that freedom to be able to do that. And Capricorn energy is the energy of having things laid out in a outline or a plan to take those steps to achieve those goals. And when we look at lunations, new moons or full moons, we look at the ruler of the sign that it's in, and in this particular case, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and Saturn is in Pisces. And Pisces and Capricorn are compatible. Water and earth are able to create something solid and tangible. And in the sign of Pisces, this can be spiritual discernment and discipline and patience, lots of patience to be able to figure things out so that things line up in divine timing. Saturn is in a square to the ruler of Pisces. It's in a square to Jupiter in the sign of Gemini. Jupiter is retrograde at the moment. So we're kind of taking in this information and like observing and not absorbing the information that we are coming across that are challenging our beliefs, our belief systems that we have been conditioned to just adopt unwittingly or just like without question. Now those beliefs are being challenged, and we have to use that Saturn and Pisces energy to figure out for ourselves, if it resonates with us or not. So we have to be really disciplined to not absorb external influences and not be distracted by, like all the glittery, flashy, whatever it might be that's happening right now, especially during the holidays. And with Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, Sagittarius can be a dogmatic kind of energy, and with Jupiter being the ruler of Sagittarius, there's also the influence of justice and, finding out the truth and really seeking the truth in order to make right what has been wrong. And so this I mean, we're in the, I feel like it's in the beginning stages of reversing the reverse, and it's becoming a lot more like widespread. It's like slowly beginning to seep out the things that have been reversed from like hundreds of years ago. I mean, I would probably say like the late 1800s. We're finding all about the truths that have been distorted. And I mean, when Jupiter goes direct in February, this is going to reveal a lot of information. And right now with Saturn in Pisces, we are really asked to, let go of those distractions and attune to our own inner source, so that we can decide for ourselves what resonates with us and what is worth taking with us along our highest timeline, along our path there. So Jupiter square is kind of like an ongoing energy that will last even until probably fall of next year, but it'll be in different signs. Saturn is going to be in Aries and Jupiter is going to be in Cancer. So they will be at another square right at 1 degree in June. But then like 6 months from now, when we come to a full moon in Capricorn, Saturn will retrograde back 2 days after the full moon, and it'll retrograde at 1 degree Aries and dip back into Pisces at 29 degrees. But that 1 degree Aries is restrictive. It's a tough energy. Saturn's like stern, strong, restrictive, and in the sign of Aries, Aries wants freedom and limitlessness and just impulsiveness. So Saturn in Aries is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So it's going to dip back into Pisces and then continue on into Aries, and Jupiter will continue on in Cancer while Saturn is retrograde. So they'll start to separate, and that square will kind of will lighten up a little bit. But right now we are planting the seeds to build a new legacy of sovereignty, freedom, and doing things on our own. Like this is kind of like new, like be your own boss kind of energy. And another interesting alignment that Erica Sullivan discovered, or she shared on Galactic Astrology YouTube, was the dwarf planet Varuna. And Varuna is also a Hindu deity who is, well, astrologically, Varuna is the higher octave of Saturn, which is the ruler of this new moon. And Varuna is this god of the seas and symbolizes self-mastery at its peak, when we place the crown on our own head and live a sovereign life rooted in the heart. So this is like a higher level, kind of like aristocracy, if you think about it that way. It's currently in the sign of Leo at 9 degrees, so it's in an inconjunct, or an inconjunct is also considered a quincunx, so it's this awkward kind of angle. And they don't really see each other, but it's, that energy is there where it's something that we are going to eventually acquire and get used to. Like there's that opportunity of there's an opportunity of, greatness with this kind of aspect between Capricorn and Leo. Material, like Capricorn is, especially in the first decan, focus on material goals and ambition. And so really acquiring those, those labels, whether it's, the doctor, or like having, titles, it's very much connected to that first decan of Capricorn. But with Varuna is more connected to ambition and heart-centered self-mastery, which invites us to reconcile the two parts of these, the one driven to accomplish and strive versus the one yearning to live authentically with courage and sovereignty. So I hope that makes sense. So these two you know, Leo and Capricorn with Varuna and the new moon is working together to blend these energies of, you know, ambitious materialism and like enjoying the fruits of our labor, or like the material fruits of our labor, like putting that crown on our own head, and also living and like living authentically to achieve that well-deserved status. New moon serves as an opportunity to embody our truest selves, building confidence, stability, and inner harmony. So thank you, Erica Sullivan, and I'll link her video because she explains it a lot more eloquently than I do. Heart-centered. Oh yeah, it's a deeper connection to inner calm and sovereignty, which will provide an essential anchor, helping us meet external chaos with grace and resilience. So the seed that we can plant with this new moon is connected to Varuna, and you know, we don't have to be ashamed of, you know, like wearing gold. Like this is something that we can be proud of and enjoy. We can enjoy the fruits of our labor, especially when we've come from the heart and we are authentic and living with integrity. So this blending of Capricorn and Leo can reach incredible heights and successes and achievements and blessings. So it's exciting energy to take advantage of, and the fact that it is in a square to the nodes, this is also encouraging us to go toward the Aries North Node and claim what is ours and not feel guilty about detaching from those codependent relationships that are not serving us. You know, like we are here to fulfill our own dreams, not someone else's dreams. And when we do that, when we pursue a path of fulfilling our own dreams, then we can attract others who are also on the same path authentically, and we don't have to pretend, we don't have to sell our soul. You know, we can enjoy the journey that we are on, and of course the destination is there, the light at the end of the tunnel is there, but we can become more enraptured with the process, that you know, the destination will become even that much more amazing. So yeah, at 9 degrees Sagittarius to the new moon, out of bounds, this is an energy of sovereignty and seeking the truth and adventure, broadening our horizons, and also taking risks. You know, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and it's all about, you know, risk taking and luck and blessings. So yeah, there's a lot to set intentions around with this new moon in Capricorn. So yeah, hopefully that made sense, and hopefully that was helpful. This is one of the only earth energies that we have in our skies right now. We do have Uranus in the sign of Taurus, but Uranus is a very destabilizing kind of energy, so it would be good to like embody that Capricorn energy of staying grounded, like maybe going on a hike. Beyond the Veil Tarot even, you know, makes sense to like go on a hike where you can climb to a vista and get a, you know, like a bird's eye view of the land, and it's symbolic of, you know, the fruits of your labor that will manifest and transpire over the next, you know, handful of months. So you just got to focus and stay grounded and not be distracted by, you know, those energies that are trying to pull us away from our source, our inner creativity. And there's probably some serious matters that need tending to, and so we are able to use this Capricorn energy to stay emotionally grounded and stay focused in order to achieve the most positive rewards from this short but serious period. So yeah, hopefully that made sense, and hopefully that helps. And yeah, happy new moon in Capricorn, and I hope to see you in the next one. All right, ciao.